All right, so for part 2, we should have our plane all the way moved off to the right. The next thing we need to do is we need to animate. So we're going to go right up here to Window, and we're going to go to Timeline, and then this should pop up. We want to click on Create Video Timeline. This is also very important too for this video because the written directions are so old that Adobe has shifted completely how they animate. So you would not be able to really read the directions, and they just won't help you. So we're going to click on that Create Video Timeline. These little video timeline purple bars show up, but we need to move that to a frame position. So we're going to click right here in these 3 squares, and it should move to this. And then we're going to click on 5 seconds. And we're going to change that to no delay. And then this should, if you're still referring to the written directions, this should look similar to what you see in his directions. So the next thing we want to do is click on Duplicate Frame, which looks like it created a new layer icon. So we're going to click on that, and then we're going to go ahead and hold Shift and the left arrow button until that plane and the cloud trail are completely off the screen. Then we're going to go right to the left of that to the little tween animation frames, and we're going to click on that, and we're going to change that 5 to 60, and then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. So we should see that there's about 62 frames, so that's 2 original ones, and then plus the 60 in between. If we were to hit play, we should see the plane fly by. If you do not see the plane fly by, something went wrong, and we need to fix that. But if it does fly by, what you need to do next is the last 3 steps are really to show you how to make your file maybe a little bit smaller, because you are limited with size capacity as far as how big you can make a GIF and still be able to save it as a GIF. So these are some ways that you could try to make it a little bit smaller. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on frame 20. We're going to click on the crop tool right over here, and then we're going to take some off the top, and we're going to take some off the bottom. All right, and then you're going to hit enter, and then that should crop it. The next thing you're going to do is go to image and then image size, and we're going to make sure that we change this from inches to pixels, and we're going to change this 600 to 400. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And then the last thing you can do is you're going to go File, Export, and then Save for Web. And then this is going to pop up, and we're going to change our dither all the way down to 0. And we are going to hit Save. And then make sure that you save this, again, in a location that you know where it's at. Usually when you're saving for web or as a GIF, it seems to default to the documents. But you can always change that. You can go to this PC. You can put it in the downloads or in the pictures folder, wherever you kind of have all of your things going. So if you have one that's marked tutorials, that's fine. And then you're going to go ahead and hit save. Then from here, you can go ahead and exit out. Now it is going to ask you, do you want to save changes? But that means, do you want to save it as a PSD? If you are all finished and you don't think you ever want to come back to the PSD, you don't need to. If you do want to save it as a PSD, then hit yes.